unboxed. So as you can see, it is a very large vehicle. So just about over 2 feet tall, I believe. As you can see, it's all the way up to the top of my top shelf on my desk. So it's a very large vehicle, as you can see. Much bigger than the original one. Sadly though, I don't have the original one since I sold it when they first announced that they were going to redo the AT-AT. So I don't have the original to compare. But yeah. But I will compare it with some other vehicles. So anyways, first of all, the AT-AT comes with AT-AT, comes with one AT-AT driver, or AT-AT driver. So as you can see, it's just basically the Saga 2 version. It's not the new one that we got in the Legacy Collection last year, so that's kind of disappointing. But he does have some updated paint. Surprisingly, he doesn't have the orange paint. I believe Hasbro said that they were going to give him the orange stripe on this helmet. Instead, it's black. So I'm pretty sure I remember hearing Hasbro said that they were going to make him that version, but I guess they didn't. They kind of cheaped out on it. But anyways, articulation for him is ball jointed head, ball jointed shoulders, swivel elbows, swivel forearms, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball jointed knees, and ball jointed ankles. Actually, no, he doesn't have any ankle joints, but yeah, that's pretty much it for him. And he doesn't come with a blaster either. So it comes with that figure, and it also comes with a speeder bike. So this is not your normal speeder bike. This is the one that came out in Saga back in 2004, I believe. This sculpt has been lost in the Hasbro factories. They haven't been able to find it, and they finally found it, I believe, this year, and they started using the mold for it again. So it is somewhat different. As you can see, the handlebars are different. It's got this little, I believe there's a blaster, yeah, the blaster underneath is different, which does swivel, as you can see here, so it's very nice. The handlebars are much more accurate, sort of, but it still has that stupid little feature when these fin things where you call them, they go down, these go up, or whatever. I don't really like that feature at all. It's really stupid. They really need to get around to updating this, since we do need a new speeder bike, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this. So it's nothing really too special, but it is a pretty nice looking speeder bike though. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the accessories that the AT-AT comes with. So now onto the AT-AT itself. So detach this. So I'll go over the head first. So first of all, as you can see here, it's got two mounted blasters on both sides. They're not accurate though, but they're close enough, and they do shoot these little rocket things, even though they're not supposed to. You just press this little button right here and it shoots them. Also down here, you can see here's the chain mounted blasters. There's two of them, and down here in the bottom, which you can see these things right here, you move it back and forth, and it makes lights and sounds. So it just moves those back and forth, and it makes the little LEDs inside here glow. So nothing too special, but still very nice. As you can see here, here's the eyes of the AT-AT. And then inside, here's the control room. So back here, there's the little door, and you can stand two figures there, stand two figures right there, and seat two figures right there. There's also some cockpit controls, as you can see, kind of in there. And there's also a control panel which lights up, as you saw like a minute ago, or a couple seconds ago. But yeah, so it's not that accurate of a head because it's quite large. The AT-AT itself, or the AT-AT itself, head it's not really that big. But yeah, so it does open up, as you can see there. And it's also got a little control button right there, and it has various dialogues and whatnot.
Rebel forces spotted. Preparing attack vectors.
And it just has that light, and it's really some really crummy dialogue, so I'm not really going to play it because it's really terrible, because they didn't use the actual dialogue from the movies, they just used crappy dialogue. And also, as you notice there, it randomly turns noises on, which is annoying, so that's I really hate that. I wish they didn't include any dialogue at all, so it's really terrible. So, as you can put that down. Also up here on top of the head, or the body, there's a joint here, and what you do is you press this little button, and I'm kind of pressing it, and it releases the head. You push this thing up here, you move that over there and add some extra blasters if you want to, and you just move it up and the head goes up. And you can move it side to side if you want to. But I don't really like that feature either. It gives it a play feel to it. So nothing really cool about that. And also one thing, that's very loose. If you just barely tap the head, it will pop open. So that's really annoying. Also, one other thing I don't like is how I guess you call this the connectors or whatever. It's a really thin rubber, and that leads me to believe that it will start peeling, tearing, and everything down the road. So I'm very worried about that. So yeah. And now onto the legs. So each one of them is exactly identical, and each one of them has these little supports that you have to put on. And each leg has articulation, so it's jointed right there. So you can swivel it there, and you can also swivel it at the knees, and you can also swivel it at the ankle joints. So, very cool, and the articulation is very stiff, so that's good. So down here, that's where the dialogue and sounds come out. What else? Also down here, up there, kind of, right there, you see that? That's the controls for the sounds and dialogue. So yeah. What else? Also down the bottom of the AT-AT, there's this little thing that opens up. And remember in Empire Strikes Back when Luke uses his cable thing to go up on top of the AT-AT? Well, that's basically what this is. It is kind of hard though to take off. So let's see if I can get it off. I don't know why it's not coming off. It's being annoying. There we go. So as you can see here, it just detaches. And also up in there, there's this little cable. You pull the cable out and you can stand a figure on it if you want to. See if I can find it. There it is. So it's got this little cable thing, and you can put a figure on there if you want to, so yeah. And then also inside the AT-AT, which you can open up on both sides, there's two panels on both sides. I'll get this on the tripod here. So as you can see there's the inside the AT-AT. This is not really working, but anyways, it's got a control panel right there. It's also got some other little tiny ones, and there's a ladder. There's even a light up there, and there's dialogue and whatnot. But the dialogues, once again, is not really that accurate. So yeah. And that little cable I showed you down there on the bottom, there's also a little button right there, and you press that button and the cable retracts. So you just basically do that and retracts the button. Also inside here there's a ton of little pegs that you can stand figures on, and so you can fit a good amount of figures in there. So yeah. Also inside here, I don't know if you can see that, but there's this little thing that comes out on both sides. So there's two of them. This little deploying thing. You move these down, and you can stand two figures on it if you want to, and then you just move it out. And it goes all the way down almost to the bottom of the AT-AT, which is really nice. And then also there's this little wheel right here, and you just turn it to make it go up again. So it's kind of a cool feature, and shows how the stormtroopers get out of the AT-AT, the AT-AT itself. So it's pretty cool. I like that little feature. But yeah, even though it's not too accurate, but still it's really cool. So it has that on both sides. It's on the other side as well. So very cool. So both sides open up, as I mentioned. It's kind of hard to get them back, stay on though. There we go. So that's pretty much it for that, the body section. And also on the sides, both sides, these little panels open up. You can stick a figure out of it if you want to or something, but yeah. And then on the back of the AT-AT, this whole entire back section opens up. And then what you do, I'll show you here. Inside here you can stick a couple figures, and you also can stick the speeder bike. You press this button, and this whole thing slides out. You can put the speeder bike right there. So that's very cool. And then you can also stick some more figures in there if you want to, but yeah. So it's nothing really too special back in there, but it's a neat idea. You slide that back in, and you just close that. That's pretty much it. Here's the back of the AT-AT. There's also the butt of it. Here's the top. As you can see, it's very nicely detailed. So very cool. So anyways, that's pretty much it for the AT-AT. You know, it's a very large vehicle, as you can see here. Very cool. But anyways, that's pretty much it for it. I guess I'm going to compare it after this. So Anyways, I'll see you guys in the comparing part.